Pump up the bass line. Pump up the pump up the bass line. Wait. Pump up the pump up the bass line.
into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, then won't you let the light shine through for you?
I've been trying to fight the demons in my mind. I'll prevail with every battle if I'm right. Guess my aim was off, the target's out of sight. Would I be better if I left it all behind? 'Cause we can find a way, we can find a way. Find another place where we can just escape. We could find a way, we could find a way. Find another place where we can just escape. We could find a way.
do some archbishop. Been a school them from when me in a car kisha. Liverpool couldn't test the way me raw sit up quick draw. Him drop and can't get up, him not fast enough for my problem that you never solve. Send for the Dan brace for a firestorm, cause I turn into a monster. Ready for the war, better with your flag. None of them boy, they no bad. None of them boy, they no bad. Bad man, see my power, some archbishop. Them no bad, school them from me in a Turkish. Them no bad, school good, they do with me racist. Trust me, I can't lift up, it's no fast enough for my Bible that you never saw. Said if they done this, be a fire song, cause I think it's no monster. Ready for the war, better we go. None of them boy, they no bad. When me walk, left me mark, young gog on a regular. Me say them hardly ready, them a new type of artillery. We a bust and a Tom and Jerry. Out the blue I hit you with an airstrike. Them not bad like me air nights, it's a rare sight, yeah. Steady aim with precision, equal vision with a clear sight. Better go get your affairs right. Them boy, they no none of them boy, they no bad. Road back, live with my block. If you mark, them no bad, them no regular. Me see them hard, they no bad. Me a new type of artillery. Me a bust, and a Tom and Jerry. Out the blue, you by the airstrike, they no bad. Me air the night, bad, clear sight. Steady aim, they no bad. And it's the vision, we like clear sight. Better to get your fit, them boy, they no bad.
Please ban a hero.
And I've been chillin', watching the ocean with you. Baby up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our growlings when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes sound funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Jimmy at Woodstock. Drive me around and go right forward. Shivers down my spinal cord. Oh, 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 oh. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes sound funny, my tongue tied up on it.
Baby, can you pray, pray tonight? Baby, can you pray, pray for? Oh, baby, can you pray? 'Cause every time you make time, it's only to the end. So pray tonight, so you won't know. Everywhere that we had is running that door. But I'll be ready every day. You know everything's alright. Are you gonna pray? Are you gonna pray?
hidden, locked up in my soul. Now it's the time to realign, reconnecting my foundation, reunite. Oh, I'm digging, got my feet on solid ground. No more levitation. There was always a longing for more, a deeper connection. Was disconnected from the source within. There were parts of my core, senseless and frozen. Wisdom hidden, locked up in my soul. No more levitation. No more levitation. No more levitation. Levitate. No more levitation. Levitate. No more levitation. Levitate. No more levitation. No more levitation. There was always a longing for more, a deeper connection. Was disconnected from the source within. There were parts of my core, senseless and frozen. Wisdom hidden, locked up in my soul.
Request backup. Okay.
Every day in the most ordinary ways, I always stop and wonder what would have happened if I stayed. 'Cause without you, it's like the ocean. I'm drowning in every single wave. Yeah, without you, I've got no focus. I'm fighting to just get through the day, and I keep falling, falling, falling deeper in every single way. Yeah, I keep falling, falling, falling. Without you, there's no escape. And without
delight, you are my lucky charm. I hold you close in the night in my arms. And when we open our eyes, my worries fade away. 'Cause you gave me your heart in the light of day. In the light of day. And when we open our eyes, my worries fade away. 'Cause you gave me your heart in the light of day. In the light of day. Sweet delight, you are my lucky charm. I hold you close in the night in my arms. And when we open our eyes, my worries fade away. 'Cause you gave me your heart in the light of day. Sweet delight, you are my lucky charm. I hold you close in the night in my arms. And when we open our eyes, my worries fade away. 'Cause you gave me your heart in the light of day. The light of day. Sweet delight, you are my lucky charm. I hold you close in the night in my arms. And when we open our eyes, my worries fade away. 'Cause you gave me your heart in the light of day.
Our turret has been destroyed. Our base is under attack.
Don't think we can, so just don't say another word. These thoughts you've imagined don't real, aren't adding up. You fetched your ideas from nowhere, out from another world. Your logic's impaired, your full picture is cropped. 'Cause we both know one day they're just gonna try again. Without doubt, might say if all's gonna mend. We both know that one day the sun's gonna rise again. So don't pout for our sake, 'cause this ain't the end. We both know that one day the sun's gonna all's gonna flop. You keep raising doubts without cause. All you feel is dread. My logic is fair. If it's pain, it's ever gonna stop. Cause we both know that one day he's not gonna cry again. Without doubt, it's my say if all's gonna mend. We both know that one day the sun's gonna rise again. So don't pout for our sake, cause this ain't the end.
The southern seas are my domain.
We both know that one day the sun's gonna rise again. So don't pout for our sake, cause this ain't the end.
Valor is engraved in my soul.
The sun's gonna rise again.
Welcome to the land of dawn.
So I say, if all's got a man, we both know one day the sun's gonna rise again. So don't bow, or I say, is this a
I am vengeance
Enemy is
incarnate.
picking.
Or blue.
You better watch out if your enemy's a road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me. And he gets caught real big, pissed off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling the score. Never getting bored, loves of blood and gore. Always wanting more, freedom from the source. They don't really listen until they feel the force of hard in. If you start shit, you be heartless in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you left scars ripped. You be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. And if you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate. There's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate. This world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm